Hi everyone. Thank you for joining today. I think that was the last webinar we were on that someone actually mentioned AI, and we're trying to add more topics that are new and current and trendy. And it was already in the plan that Carl was going to give this session today. So we're grateful anyways for your time, and I'm happy that we are able to actually provide topics that are suitable to you and have been requested by you. So today's topic, we're going to cover technology, basically AI, and how does that tie into foreign markets. I know there's a lot of ideas, some misconceptions about AI, but that's why we're bringing experts to discover exactly how to use it, and of course the advantages and the limitation of the different tools that we have, and how to take the full advantage of it. We have here with us today Carl Miville Duchesne. Excuse me if I spelled it incorrectly. He's an economic development expert. He has over 25 years of experience in expert and value chains across Africa, Latin America, Asia, Europe, and North America. We've had a chat before preparing for this session, and the number of stories and experiences he has are unbelievable. So he's here with us today, but we're going to focus on AI. And yeah, Carl?
Thank you very much, Jennifer. I appreciate the invitation to be with you. Like Jennifer said, I have some experience in international trade. I used to own trading houses in the past, and I specialized over the years in bulk instant coffee for the flavor industry, namely the instant coffee that would mix with ice cream or yogurt, to give you an example. I would purchase the coffee from India, from Mexico, bring it to different companies in the United States, Korea, Saudi Arabia, Switzerland, and this is how we discovered how to use information technology in international trade. So if I go back 30 years ago, when we started trying to do new ways of doing things, we implemented new ways. Now, this is 2025. Artificial intelligence is there. It's not a new thing now. It's something that we need to understand more and use. So I will do a brief presentation. 1 hour is very short, so we're not going to cover everything. I'll go maybe a little bit fast on the technical aspect of many of these things, just to give you maybe a new way of thinking. And then I'll give you an example, live, a concrete, a real example of something that we've done last fall in order to integrate artificial intelligence in we need to access foreign markets. So I do have a presentation for you. There we go. There we go. So let's have a look at all this. Let's begin with our topic of the day. Trying to see if I very good. Understand this. The information technologies and its use in international trade have been there for the past 20, 25 years. As a matter of fact, my first seminar on the use of IT in international trade was in Montreal, Canada, where I'm from, with the local Chamber of Commerce. And we use this introduction of information technologies for the manufacturers who exported or wanted to export. At the time, 1999, people didn't have, most of the companies didn't have website. It's another era. So now we got, in today's global economy, technology plays a crucial role in overcoming traditional barriers to international trade. Let's begin with efficiency and speed. Previously, trade transaction involved significant paperwork, which meant longer processing time, high chance of human error, especially in the banking documents or the shipping documents, the insurance documents. IT systems have digitalized many of these processes, speeding up transaction and ensuring that companies have real-time visibility into their shipment, inventory, and financial record. Second, data-driven decision-making has become, nowadays, a cornerstone of successful trade strategies. AI and big data allow companies to analyze large volume of data to forecast trends, understand consumer behavior, and anticipate potential disruption in supply chain. For instance, Amazon and Alibaba, to name the big ones, use AI to predict seasonal demand, adjust inventory, and streamline logistics to ensure timely delivery. This ability to respond quickly to changing market conditions gives companies a significant competitive advantage. Further, when I build an example for you, it's going to be more SME oriented than for the large companies. Lastly, reducing barriers to entry is vital, especially for SMEs. Traditionally, expanding internationally was costly and complex, but digital tools makes global market accessible to companies of all size, especially for smaller ones. There are many free platforms or low-cost platform like Shopify or even Alibaba that enables SME to sell products globally with ease. AI tools provide them with an insight on customer preferences and buying habits, so they can be tailored they can tailor, their offering to meet the needs of various regions. By leveraging these technology, companies can enter and compete in international markets without the overhead that traditionally limited their reach. The world is accessible through IT and AI now at a very low cost. So let me introduce a little bit more about these things. We'll talk about market research and analysis using AI. And we'll talk, and I'll give you an example, of digital marketing and customer engagement. And then we'll end up with a series of questions. I was explaining to you earlier that Amazon or Alibaba use these type of tools. It's a common thing. And I mentioned those two because it's something that you know, but they're not the only one. All type of companies of all sizes that you may, Zara, for example, do the same type of thing. Amazon leverage AI and cloud technology. It has established a global network that allows sellers from any countries to access international markets seamlessly. It's also Alibaba, and if I think of Alibaba Express for SMEs, it has AI-driven logistics and data insight to optimize shipping routes, manage inventory, and predict demand across different markets. This is quite new trends, new way to do things, new way to think international business. Now, let's be technical here without making you professional in these technologies, but to understand. There will be two items on that slide and two items on the next slide. And cover four transformative technologies that are reshaping global trade. So, blockchain. This technology is essentially a secure digital ledger, and especially important for global trade as it offers transparency and reduces fraud, making it easier for companies and customers to verify the authenticity of goods. An excellent example is Maersk TradeLens platform. Maersk is the shipping company, which use blockchain to allow multiple stakeholders to track the journey of a shipment from start to finish. This is not a new thing, but it was transformed from RFID chips now to a complete set of information that is available through satellite and given access to the buyer, the seller, the insurance company, the freight company, all of these people together know when the container is packed, load, shipped. The condition of the container itself is especially important in reefer containers, for example. So you know the exact temperature, you know in advance when the ship is going to arrive, dock, and unload, so you can prepare your costume officer at the other end to be able to be ready for all the documentation and everything. This transparency reduces paperwork, cuts down on delay, and build trust between trading partners. Internet of Things, device that track goods in real time, monitor temperature, like I mentioned earlier, for sensitive item, and ensure timely deliveries. IoT is another critical technology. With IoT, companies can attach sensors, like the chip I mentioned earlier, allowing for real-time tracking. This is especially useful for perishable goods or temperature-controlled goods. DHL, for example, use IoT for cold chain logistics, where sensors monitor temperature, humidity, and location to ensure product such as pharmaceutical or fresh produce remain within safe condition throughout transit. If I change slide and we talk about big data analytics, it allows companies to analyze extensive data sets, helping them to predict demands, optimizing pricing, and stay competitive. Walmart, a retail giant in North America, relies heavily on big data to make inventory and pricing decisions based on local demand in different regions. Zara does the same, for example, if something that is more closer to you. By forecasting trends and consumer needs, they can ensure they have the right product at the right time, which is critical for staying relevant in international market and keeping on top of trends and fashion, seasonal changes, these type of things. Finally, cloud computing that maybe a lot of you are already using without understanding. It enables team worldwide to collaborate seamlessly. For example, we have a consulting firm here in Montreal. I have some of the people that I work with are based in Egypt, Morocco, obviously in Canada, in Tunisia, and it depends where we have mandates. Sometimes we work with people in Southeast Asia, in the Caribbean, and many African countries. To make it possible for all of us, cloud computing is very important. We work on making analysis and studies so we can put everything in the cloud. And we used to do that, believe it or not, early 2000. We built websites with the technology that does not exist anymore, or it's not pertinent anymore. It's a lot better than it is now. It's a lot better now than it was, I meant. We use a website with backdoors with the different places where we could put our material, like SharePoint does with the Office 365 kind of offers. So every time we have a project, we built a section, and everybody around the world that works with us put all the documents there. It keeps the history of everything. We put our information documentation, the analysis that we make, and information. This remote access to data and application makes a real-time collaboration among the global team a reality, a cheap and affordable reality. It makes it easier to coordinate complex international operation from procedure to distribution. Now, AI comes in handy. It has a real role in market analysis and decision making. In market analysis, AI acts as a powerful tool that helps businesses make more informed decisions. First, let's discuss predictive analytics. The AI application uses historical data to forecast future demand and trends, enabling companies to adjust their strategy accordingly. For instance, Nike leverage predictive analytics to plan its inventory in different markets, whether it's California, whether it's Ontario in Canada, or whether it's in France or Germany or anywhere else. By anticipating seasonal demand, they ensure they have the right product in the right region, minimizing stock shortage or overage, and optimizing, obviously, profit margin. Next, we have the natural language processing, NLP, process vast amount of unstructured data, like news article, social media posting, and customer feedback to detect market sentiment and trends. L'Oréal, for instance, use NLP to understand what consumers are saying about their beauty product on social media across various countries. So normally you make it specific to countries, even cities, even part of a certain cities, by identifying trending products and local preferences. They can tailor their offering for different markets, giving them a competitive edge. Finally, machine learning models identify patterns in customers' behavior and market dynamics to support strategic decision making. Uh, it helps identify patterns in data, such as shift in consumer behavior or economic indicators. IBM Watson, something available online, a leader in machine learning, provides tools to analyze global trade data and assess risk. For example, by evaluating economic indicator and geopolitical events, companies can identify potential risks and adjust their market entry or expansion strategies, reducing financial exposure and improving success rates in foreign markets. Now, a word of advice here. We have this particular amazing situation in the United States happening right now since January 20th. We have to understand very often that maybe AI can adapt, but depending on the speed it can adapt, sometimes it may take a little bit of time before it can react properly and give us a good assessment of the situation. So you cannot totally rely on something like this. You have to understand it has some limits and function with the limits that are there. I'm saying this because it's not foolproof, it's not perfect, it's not complete, it's very useful. And it gives you a very strong indication that you can work with. But with the new president in the States being there, changing IDs sometimes many times in a day, AI will not be able to follow that speed of change of thought, right? Now, we understand that the situation is not only USA Canada or USA Panama or USA Greenland, but it's starting Greenland, but it's getting to be USA Europe, USA Africa, USA everywhere else in the world. It's getting there. So maybe the machine learning model is learning how to cope with all this. All right. And we have to understand something. It's quite interesting what people like L'Oreal do or Nike do or IBM does. But this is not SME kind of stuff. We can have a look at this and understand, well, this is quite good, but there's a limit on what I can do with this. As a smaller SME. So we'll try to be maybe more practical in the example that will follow. AI is invaluable for conducting detailed, real-time market research that help companies enter new markets strategically. And I'll show you a few things. We have Ignacy Cunulera that is here from Calculus, right below me on the screen. We've looked at their AI tools earlier last week regarding this, and we're experimenting with this week and next week. So I'll be able to share with you maybe one screen or two of these type of tools. AI is invaluable for conducting detailed real-time market, like I mentioned. Starting with real-time market research, AI enables companies to track shift in consumer demands, preferences, and economic conditions. Coca-Cola, for example, use AI to stay attuned to regional preferences and launches specialized products like cherry blossom flavored Coke in Japan, which appeal to a local market taste. Coffee companies do the same type of thing. Accessing the Chinese market. They've used these type of tools in order to be able to understand how they can mix the tea demand for the coffee demand and follow the trend between the older people who are maybe more driven by the drinking tea and the younger people by the drinking the espresso, and it's a fashionable thing. And it's really, for example, in China, new trends. It's a big thing to carry your cup with a logo of the coffee company because it's expensive. and it shows your status symbol. It's surprising the perception that you can get. But being far and remote from that, without the AI, you're not getting necessarily that information or that perception. Well, when it comes to identifying niche opportunities, this is very interesting because small SMEs trying to do business in a foreign country, sometimes a foreign country, for example, an SME from Senegal who would like to sell a product in USA. USA is not a market. It's too large, too big for Senegalese SME, right? Maybe the product would be going to New York, to Manhattan, or to Miami, or to Atlanta, or one city, which is maybe a big market enough to start entering. This is what I would call SMEs niche opportunities. So in order to be able to analyze that, AI helps pinpoint gaps in the market that can be profitable as profitable entry points. A Spanish food company used AI to identify a demand for a plant-based food in Southeast Asia by analyzing search trends and dietary preferences, allowing them to enter with a product line designed for that region's taste. It's like, for example, when we used to trade bulk instant coffee for the flavor industry. The flavor profile changed from one country to the other, from one region of a country to another. If you understand this, you're not going to present a profile that does not suits the people in that region. For example, in Canada, the way people drink, the taste that people like in the province of Quebec or the province of British Columbia on the Pacific coast is not the same. So you have to build a profile according to the customer you're trying to reach. Lastly, competitor analysis is critical area where AI helps companies track and respond to competitors' action. PepsiCo for company, for example, use AI to monitor change in competitors' strategies and adjust their own tactics. By keeping a dose on competitors' moves in real time, they can tweak their marketing pricing and product offering to maintain or enhance their market position, using also the social networks with the diffusion of tweets or short text in order to create a certain interest or respond to a growing demand this week, today, this afternoon, this evening, or with the release of a new movie, complementary product, that type of thing. These AI-driven market research tools provide business with insight needed to make informed, agile decisions when entering or expanding on foreign markets. AI is transforming the way companies identify and assess market opportunities in foreign regions. Let's start with opportunity mapping, where I cross-reference data like purchasing power, demand patterns, and consumer trends. For example, a German car manufacturer used AI to recognize a strong trend toward the electric vehicle in China, allowing them to shift their marketing and production strategies to meet this demand head on. This data-driven approach helped them target a high-growth sector effectively, and they're able to turn around in a short period of time, not waiting for quarterly results and then decision from the whole organization. It can be driven a lot faster, a lot better. Next is customer segmentation. AI clustered consumer data to reveal distinct customer segment based on demographic, buying behavior, and preferences. Netflix use AI to identify and segment viewers based on their preferences for each region. As a matter of fact, if you use Netflix and you travel around, you will see that your Netflix, if you are in Montreal in Canada, offers you certain type of movies. If I travel and I go to Poland, it won't offer the same type of things. If I install myself for a month for work in Senegal, the offer will not be the same. Sometimes, if I want to go back to my original offer, I would have to use some tools in order to be able to show to the Netflix that I'm not in Senegal but in Montreal. These tools are easily available, and we use that for especially for if I'm in Nigeria and I want to access my banking in Canada. Sometimes they won't let me access my banking in Canada because I'm in Nigeria and they're afraid that Nigeria will, I don't know, empty all the bank accounts of the company. So we used to have tools that will show that we're not in Nigeria, but in a server in Canada or anywhere else in the world. This localization strategy help them provide, I was talking about Netflix, region-specific entertainment, strengthening customers' engagements and retention. And sometimes local flavored movies will be offered like this, or series will be offered this way in order to correspond to the need of the local people. Competitive positioning, analyze competitor strengths, weakness, and customer reviews, helping businesses find gaps in the market. A beauty brand from the US, for instance, analyzed the South American beauty market and noticed the demand for cruelty-free, eco-friendly product. This insight led them to adjust their product line to cater to environmentally conscious consumer, giving them a competitive edge. My topic and my example, digital marketing and AI in customer engagement. AI plays a crucial role in digital marketing by enhancing how brand engage with customer and deliver tailored experience. AI-powered personalization is a key application where AI algorithm analyze browsing history, preferences, and behavior to deliver personalized recommendation. For example, Spotify AI engine creates custom playlists based on users' listening habit, which boosts user satisfaction and keeps them from coming back for more. Now, all these tools needs to be put in place, programmed. There's a cost to it, right? Obviously, if you're L'Oreal, you have the means to cover for this type of thing. If you're Spotify, you do. But if you're sub-Saharan African SMEs, you're listening to me and you say, I cannot afford all this. Well, let me show you that it is possible at your own level to start dabbling with these type of tools in order to be able to do something that you can use. And I will try to show you something that we've done last fall in order to understand, learn, and create a certain interest on our service offers. Quickly, automated ad marketing is another powerful AI-driven feature. By analyzing the user data, AI can predict the types of product and service that may interest them, ensuring ad reach the right people at the right time. Facebook AI-driven platform is an excellent example. So we use in what we've done, for example, I'll show you, not necessarily go to the Facebook ads, we won't have the time, but the fact that the way we program our AI, then we have to add the Facebook ads and let it use its automated ad targeting according to the market we select and the type of clientele we're looking for. And obviously, 24/7 customer support with chatbot is a quite useful exercise. It's on a website to assist customers with product search, recommendation, and order tracking. So we put on our website a little bot in one corner. You can ask them questions. For example, on our consulting firm, we're consulting in international trade and development. You can ask the bot, I'm a producer of a wild mushroom flavored whiskey from eastern part of Canada, and we want to export this in Germany. What would be our first 10 steps, right? And the AI, because we program it accordingly, will look at what we give it to them as programming, we'll look at the rules, regulation, information, and we'll answer you within seconds. It'll tell you step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then it will say, if you want to know more, contact the company, we'll help you, right? That's the kind of thing. But it gives you a good idea what's in front of you, and you understand maybe the size of the work you have to do. So let's forget about Coca-Cola and Zara and Starbucks. which was my example for coffee in China. And let's move away from the PowerPoint for 1 second. Let me just try to figure this out. Here, I escape. There you go. And let me give you some sort of a real life example of something that we've done. You still see the screen with Carl Ville-Deschênes, Développement Commerce? Is that what you see? Yes? Very
Yes.
good. Okay, that's a chat GPT. Okay, simple thing. Now you will see that I have in my GPTs different possibilities that I use, whether it's the consulting firm but I go to my own profile that has been programmed with a funnel, top of the funnel, the type of client, and we work with middle of the funnel, the type of prospect that we're looking for, and the bottom of the funnel, what we would like them to do, right? This is not for me to program. I'm not a programmer. I cannot do this. I hire a firm that helps me. It's not expensive to create this type of profile for me in order that when I ask a question, I already feed my profile with my resumes, with my competencies, with my knowledge, with material I've written. I've wrote 22 books in French, in English, in Spanish, in Arabic, in Serbian, in Croatian, and it's all in there. So it's all my source of information. We use that in order to generate text that comes with my mind, but is written by AI. I'll show you. If I look at I have to, yeah. So there's a profile that has been built for me, same for one of the company or the other company, or I do the same for my classes at university. The thing that we did is this. We wanted to get our training. We have an online training um, company. We've been training online since 2005. What we wanted to get is more people interested into this, and we have a limited time to do the promotion. We're not looking to try to get people to fill out so we get tracked by SEOs or anything. We wanted to put some text in selected social networks, being pages of the school on Facebook, on LinkedIn. We have X account. We have a chain on YouTube. We have websites, all types of tools like this. And we want it to be covered in foods, in words on a regular basis. So there was a programmation that was done in order to get with on the last slide that you saw. I'll go back to this. We had 8 application working together, speaking to each other in order to build this. I cannot do this. I don't. I understand how it works. I cannot program this. But the thing is, we get on our profile, this is my LinkedIn homepage, if you want, and this is the kind of text, it's in French, that was published twice a week on LinkedIn page or group of on LinkedIn for the International Trade Training Center. Something relevant to a topic of international trade, and we generate interest, and then obviously you can click there and it brings you to the website where you have more information. And it's interesting that we also, with the same type of tools, we generate every week these small mention on social networks are usually very short, but we get one article a week published in a blog and on LinkedIn as an article, obviously a French again. Here's an example of one, right? Défi des douanes internationales, customs challenge internationally. And we get this text generated with our knowledge, our profile, what we do. We created the topics, we prepare the topics for a month in advance. And every week there's a new text coming out that has been published here on LinkedIn and also published on the website of the training organization. gives a blog a week that is republished all over the social network. Long details. All these words are registered in the web sphere and finally point to us in a better manner. The more you search, the more you will find us because of these type of tools. We've done that all fall from September to December. We did the same type of thing. You see the result in the page of the International Trade Training School, right? With article, small mention generated twice a week by the AI. So we don't have to do anything. It bears our logo, our images change every time, and the topic change every time, but it's all related to what we decide would be a progression in international trade knowledge for 4 months, right? And the interesting part is that you can get the data analysis. You can see who responds to where. This does not cost much. We spent, to be frank with you, something like $3,000. That's not expensive, right? And what it creates more people reading, more people discovering, adding publicity, more people following, reaching you. And the idea at the end of it is that we get new mandates. That's what we want. Like any other type of SMEs, if we do all types of using these tools and we pay someone to help us build it because we're not builders and we have to let the professional do what they have to do, right? At the end, we want to be able to generate some sales and revenues, period. So this it did work. It brings us with the especially with the blog text that we get once a week. We get calls from one organization, then a second one. They say, "Oh, we're building our newsletter, and this month we would like to have an article of woman-led SMEs in Africa, Southeast Asia, Latin America, have access to financial in order to export better with 3 case studies. Could you do that for us?" I said, yes, we certainly can. And they wanted a 1 page, 350 words. I insisted it was way too small. We needed at least two pages, 700 words. We could do the French and the English version. It's a bilingual organization. And we find the information that we need in order to work, and we deposit it through our profile on ChatGPT, and we get the article coming out with they wanted some case studies. Now the case studies are not complete. The detail, it will be 3 lines saying pop up pop up, this company in Kenya did with their coffee, blah blah blah, and then there's a link to the financial organization that backed them up, and the case study is from them. This took us, to be frank with you, 2.5 hours to do, in French and in English. Customer was delighted, very happy. Hopefully we'll get to do their next newsletter on another topic on international trade. So my main idea or my main concern by trying to use this type of thing is to be able um, to generate revenue. So quickly, I talked to you about our chatbot right here, one of them. You can ask a question. I would like to export mangoes from Senegal to Germany. How should I proceed? Oh, maybe I have a limit in my languages on that one.
Maybe you want to try it in French.
Comment puis-je exporter mes mangues sénégalaises Uh, yeah. Oh, there's a one, two, three, four, five, six, and then call us. Something like this. I'm not going to go read or translate everything. I'm just showing you that's the purpose of the chatbot. Now we see the chatbot is only in French, but the website is only in French. So we didn't do a bilingual thing. I talked to you about having using all types of tools in order to generate this type of things. We have um, a chain on YouTube that is used by hundreds of thousands of people. And it gives us this is I'm always trying to relate that with AI. There's a inspiration from the channel content proposal from the channel content to build new contents that we could do, and we could do it with AI, with Vid or other type of tools. I don't want to be technical, but it proposed me to do a future of AI in global trade, Senegal export growth potentials, that type of thing. It's beautiful, right? And it gives you statistics: who comes, who look, who reads, from where they're coming from, and it gives it's very useful in order to see what kind of languages they use, because we got videos in French, in English, these type of tools. You want to use obviously different type of metric analysis tools, like Metricool is being one of them, right? So when we posted all these series of articles through the fall, September to December, we could follow on the website, on the Facebook, on different like this, so we can understand what happens. And obviously, following on the website, Google Analytics is the most common one and the most used one with the more detail that gives us a very clear idea who's listening to what, reading what, and where and when. It permits me to adapt the whole thing. Now, I said I would mention some AI tools regarding my friend this Ignacy that is here. Quickly, there's a tool called Market Calculus that is available. There is a Trade Atlas Solutions database giving you possible informations on. You see here, I put coffee for I remember what, from all countries, buying companies, this type of things. This would bring us to, because we're ITC today, would bring us to ITC trade statistics. Now, the documents I showed you for Trade Atlas and Market Calculus is something that you have to pay for, but trade statistics from ITC is a free version if you want to go and dig into this. I went to have a look at coffee, green coffee beans, and I got all kinds of information on, let's say, France. There you go. Use quantity from where, what country support, who they buy and sell from, import, export, values, all that type of information that you need to be able to work properly. It can be all AI combined, and it will give you a perception that is quite useful. So I'll go back to my PowerPoint to finish this up. Um, yes. So I explained to you earlier that we use uh, a series of applications together in order to be able to generate the text that you saw on the Facebook and the LinkedIn page. It's important to understand that with this type of use, if I say to medicine, this is a programming that I cannot do myself. I have no clue how to do this. They explained it to me, I understood, but I cannot do this. They're the professionals, and they're the one I hired to do something like this. Now, it did work for us. It did bring us contracts that I would have never got without this, because the customers don't necessarily know everything that you do. Let me go. We're nearing the end. Hold on one second. because you may want to ask. Okay, I explained to you about the chatbot, the use of chatbot. Yes, it's an important thing that we want you to keep in mind. Hold on, where am I? I'm here. Um, AI is revolutionizing customers' experience by offering personalized, efficient, and engaging interactions. Starting with AI-driven customer services, and more and more companies use AI in order to be able to answer their customers' requests or need. Now, the robot I showed you was made by my staff here with no knowledge. We use WordPress and we took the video, we learn how to do it, and we install it and we correct it. It's not perfect. I go for the free version to try, like many SMEs, wherever in the world. They're budget limited and they cannot spend thousands of dollars to get somebody to program this. So we tried. And then when we're finished trying, then we hire a professional to do the new and the better version. That's what we're trying to do. So um, it provides a virtual assistant that provides instant response to common queries, which improves satisfaction by reducing wait time. Say for us, for example, chatbot is a prime example. It offers users advice on makeup, provide product recommendation, and assist with order tracking, creating seamless customer experience without requiring human intervention. I showed you the bot that we have. It's not necessarily very used yet. Maybe we have to do a bit more publicity, but it works, right? Um, Personalized product recommendation are another impactful AI-driven feature. By analyzing customers' browsing and purchasing history, AI can suggest product that aligns with their preferences. Amazon's recommendation engine is particularly successful in this, as it increases users' engagements and drive repeat purchase by highlighted product based on each customer's unique browsing habits. What we do use at a warrant level for SMEs, when we purchase publicity with Facebook, Facebook will provide us with these type of tools, and we only pay for the publicity. It's a small thing, but it will give us, maybe you should consider that. Maybe you should. LinkedIn does the same thing. Maybe you should be more precise on your profile. And even LinkedIn, when we start using LinkedIn publicity, they offered us free consultation for twice 45 minutes with somebody from LinkedIn who guided us for free in order to use their publicity better so we can spend money on their publicity. But they showed us that to program it precisely. So if I want to sell my mangoes in Lyon, France, I can direct my publicity to the specific market uh, there in Lyon where people sell and buy mangoes, for example. It's can be that precise. Um, uh, Lastly, enhance user engagement with AI is becoming a crucial element of digital platform. The New York Times, for example, use AI to suggest articles and news pieces based on each reader's interest, improving engagement and increasing subscription reward. By offering content that feels tailored to individual readers, they foster loyalty and keeps the audience coming back. And one surprising thing that happened the other day, I'm with my son, we're having dinner, we're discussing, and I don't know how he programmed his phone, but we're discussing certain topics, and then when he opens his phone, he gets proposed to read article about these topics. The phone was listening, and AI wanted to propose to him solution to the discussion that we're having. My phone is not set that way, and I don't want it to be set that way. But it goes that deep, right? Again, as a smaller firm, maybe there's a limit to where we can go for the moment. But what I'm trying to convey here is the trend where this is all going, right? So that you can understand, you can start slowly, right? Using a chat GPT, generating articles or small things for social networks and post on a regular basis. If you cannot program, you can do it yourself. You can open it up, get the paid version, not the free version, right? And you can prepare a series of topics you can work with. You can ask ChatGPT, this is what I do. This is the type of client I'm looking for. How should I address them? How would I do something like this? And then it will give you a series of topics to work on. And it will generate the text for you. Then you just copy and paste. If you don't want to use a metric tool or another type of tool, that you can program your pasting of these type of information. A few more minutes, I have to finish this. When operating globally, companies face multiple risks, from regulatory changes to geopolitical uncertainties like today. Regulatory compliance monitoring with AI is an essential tool, especially for industries like finance and pharmaceutical, where regulation vary widely. Us, for example, for Canada, for our custom people, they're getting crazy with the change of in duties twice a day. They have to follow this. They cannot, a human mind cannot react that fast. So they've implemented, obviously, AI technologies in a way to be able to follow the directive from the US to be sure that we follow them closely and we deliver the documents accordingly. We have a trade agreement between Canada, United States, Mexico. Everything that we trade that fits with the standards of that trade agreement is duty-free for the moment, right? So it has to be precise in the way the documentation is done. Uh, somebody writing there. For example, HSBC, a major international bank, use AI to keep up with the regularity changes across multiple countries, allowing it to adapt operations as needed to avoid penalties and maintain compliance. By automating this monitoring process, they reduce human error and stay agile in response to complex strategies. Next, risk prediction and management allows company to foresee potential disruptions. IBM Watson, for example, can analyze geopolitical factor like what's happening right now, United States, Canada, Mexico, China, Europe, Africa, conflict and economic instability that may impact trade. Companies using Watson receive early alert, allowing them to pivot their strategies, adjust production plan. I'm thinking of aluminum manufacturers, or even delay investment on a high risk area, ultimately safeguarding their operation. Lastly, supply chain risk management is crucial, especially for companies with extensive international supply chains. Car manufacturers, for example. Toyota, for instance, employs AI to monitor global events like earthquake, political change, which could disrupt manufacturing. This predictive ability allows Toyota to reroute supplies, adjust production, and source alternative suppliers in advance, thus minimizing downtime and maintaining business continuity, right? But we're not Toyotas. Future trends and AI for international trade. When operating globally, companies face multiple risks. We said that. Um, right. Autonomous shipping, logistic, Maersk. Sorry. Maersk use AI to predict shipping, the way Toyota example earlier. Blockchain-powered smart contracts. IBM and Maersk Trade Plans platform use blockchain-based smart contracts to automate custom clearance, improving efficiency across border and trade. Oof, that's a lot in 55 minutes. Any short
Um,
question?
yeah, we have a few questions, but I'm gonna give you a minute or two to rest and maybe like have a glass of water. In the meantime, I will start poll anyone who's attending any of these webinars before. You know that at the end of each webinar, we launch a quick poll. It's only 6 questions. It should pop up on your screen now. I would appreciate if you take 1 or 2 minutes to complete it. It's basically just for us to know if the topic was interesting, if you've learned something new, and if you're going to be implementing any of these on your business. Thank you, Card. I I understand you wanted to to include everything you could in this webinar. For everyone asking, this is recorded, so you can watch it again as a recording. It will be added to the event page on ecomconnect. So we have a few questions. There's a question from Raquel asking if the companies you mentioned that already apply AI, if they have developed their own AI or use specific tools that already exist in the market. And
Uh,
if you have any specific tool recommendation for us.
yeah. Large companies develop their own inside their own companies. When we mention Maersk, when we mention Spotify, they do their own. When we're talking smaller companies, for example, if you use ChatGPT to start with, it's a good tool to try to start to understand how it works. When you use a Chat GPT, uh, there is a what it's called. Uh, Explore the GPTs that are connected to ChatGPT. It's changing all the time. You will find a lot of tools available there that goes along with your $20 a month subscription or whatever the price is, right? It's a good way to start. For the rest, you could ask your chat GPT, what kind of tool can I use? And it's going to give you some recommendation, not only theirs, but some others. Everything is very specific to what you do. So we've used some tools like Metricool or what have you. I'm not going to name them all, and it's something that it's not for me to build and to propose or to suggest. I use what the firm that we hired give us. Now, how did I find this firm? On my LinkedIn, which I use every day, on my Facebook, this firm pop up with a series exactly what the way I did, with a text on the social network stating, "Oh, why would you do this? We have a free training, 45 minutes, Thursday, that hour, and we'll discuss the use of ChatGTP in your SME." So I went and I listened. And I found this interesting. And I contacted the person and we had a discussion. And then from there, I subscribed to one of their thing and we a little one-on-one chat, 45 minutes, whatever the price was. And then when I was finished, I said, this is what I have in mind. And I asked for, there was a special pricing for this type of structure. This is what I want to build. I spent 45 minutes explaining what I had in mind. And they came back to me a few days later. They said, this is what we got. This is how much it's going to cost you. And as we are learning with you how to do this, we'll charge you half price. I loved it. And I said, well, if you do that, every time you do something, you have to show me. Not I will duplicate your work. I'm not going to become an expert, but I want to understand how it works. So we showed all the tools, we connected, it worked, didn't work, it can create this. We made a profile, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. We asked ChatGPT to give us a canvas of what we should talk about twice a week for 12 weeks. And it gave us a very good flow of subject, and we program it. They program it, not me. And we experimented with this. Now, if you want a list of tools, go to your explore your GPTs on ChatGPT. You'll have plenty to start with. Too many of them, obviously. And it's all included, a lighter version, with your subscription to ChatGPT. So, for example, if you use DALL-E for creating images, you have a version of DALL-E that's available through ChatGPT. If you want to get more precise, more programming, more this, more that, well, you have to subscribe and pay. Obviously, everybody wants you to subscribe and pay. Next question.
Yeah, actually, that was very interesting. I think the main lesson from what you said is basically uh, I, if you're gonna use any of these technologies, ChatGPT or anything related to AI, you need to understand how it works One, because if you will be using it in your business, this is important for you to know, even if you end up hiring some external party to do it. But because also you need to understand how it works so that you know what to request from this company and know whether they are overcharging you, undercharging you. Of course, is not an issue, but also pick the people you want to work with. So there is absolutely no explanation or no reason not to understand the basics, especially if you're adding it to your business.
And especially, there's plenty of free training. ITC gives some, but there's plenty of free training available, capsules on YouTube that you
Mhm.
can start with. You know, how to use AI technology in approaching foreign markets. Go crazy. Listen to 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll give you ideas and tools and stuff, which we cannot cover in the 55 minutes that we had because we didn't go that precise. We went on where we're going, not necessarily, and I give you an example, but not enough details. But these capsules will help you generate your curiosity, and then you'll think, oh, I could use this way. But don't try to be a programmer to save money.
Yeah.
Give it to somebody who can do it. But if you do this in advance, when you sit with them, you know what you want. And sometimes when you discuss with them, same thing happened with the company that they do their stuff for dentist office and that kind of stuff, right? Medical clinic, whatever. I said, no, 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 me international trade. It's another level. But I'll tell you, I'll teach you. So you got to pay me, right? So hence the rebate, right? But I knew exactly what I wanted to get, and I listened to some of these small short videos. I listened to theirs. I listened to some others, and that particular company offered a series of video, very well done, 45 minutes each, plenty of details that you can pick from there. But I'm not a programmer. I can understand, I can use these tool to do this, that tool to do that, but I cannot program this. This is not what I do. You know what I do? I do this.
And this is also not what you want to do. That's another thing.
No, there's
All
not enough
right.
time in a day.
I know, I know. I don't think there is any other question. There were some comments in the chat about trade map and trade atlas, and someone saying, or many people saying thank you. Also in the chat, real people, not bots. Uh,
Yeah, no, but the Ignacy is there. So if you want, people are on the chat. You can ask him a question. You know, for
okay.
the trade atlas. He saw the advertisement because he looked at my profile. We had a chat, and he subscribed. He come here today, and I put it's that's what it is. Networking. AI
Yeah.
brought us together today.
All right. That's our time for today. Thank you, Carl, so much for this session. And thank you, everyone, for joining and staying over 5 minutes then scheduled. Hope you found it useful and interesting. And as I mentioned, we'll be adding the recording. So if you missed something or want to go back to something, you can always find it online. Thank you so much, and I wish everyone a great start of week.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
It was a pleasure being with you, Jennifer, and all the people. How many people did we get today? Peak?
Uh, at peak, I think we had about 50, but most likely more people coming in and out as usual.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It
Bye.
was a nice time together.